We are very thankful to be with you tonight and are especially thankful for our troops and our veterans on this holiday. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice. We've got a fun show ahead, so let's get started. It's become one of our annual traditions here on The Five to name our picks for Turkeys of the Year. It makes me a little uncomfortable. But, as always, a ton of options we needed to weed through, but we managed to make our selections, and we're going to take it around the table. We're going to start with Kimberly. Who did you pick?
Oh, I think I have the best turkey ever. You might agree with me at home. It's Bernie Sanders. Yay for Bernie Turkey Sanders, because he says that Black Lives Matter instead of all lives matter, for promoting socialism, and for saying that climate change is the greatest threat to our national security. Roll it.
We're going to explain what democratic socialism is. And what democratic socialism is about is saying that it is immoral and wrong that the top 1/10 of 1% in this country own almost 90%. Black Lives Matter. We need to combat institutional racism from top to bottom. Climate change is directly related to the growth of terrorism. And if we do not get our act together and listen to what the scientists say, you're going to see countries all over the world. This is what the CIA says. They're going to be struggling over limited amounts of water, limited amounts of land to grow their crops, and you're going to see all kinds of international conflict.
You know what's funny, KG,
Yeah.
is that you chose him as your Turkey of the Year. There's another cable network that would probably say he's their candidate of the year, using those exact same clips.
Absolutely, but I would like to thank Bernie Sanders for giving us Larry David. That has been the best thing about his candidacy, is Larry David on Saturday Night Live. But honestly, this election is about choices. So if this is your guy, know who he is, understand that this will send this country back to the dark ages. It's problematic, but, you can enjoy the humor of it kind of along the way. I'm being positive. It's Thanksgiving.
Anyone else want to comment on Bernie?
Well, the funny thing about Bernie Sanders is that people view him as a revolutionary. But when you listen to him, he just covers he ticks every single box of the traditional left-winger. So he's not rebelling against anything in the media. He's not rebelling against anything in academia. And he's certainly not rebelling against anything in government. He's playing the exact same tune of every liberal progressive. There's nothing rebellious except his hair.
Well, what's interesting is I thought Dana's point was on target, that, in fact, there are lots of people who love Bernie Sanders, and even as someone who's a Democrat, I got to tell you, I'm amazed, because a socialist?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand, okay, so he's strong on guns, he wants guns, and he says that he wants to hike taxes, which Hillary Clinton's attacking and saying, oh, my God, this guy's going to raise your taxes. But none of it matters. There are people, I mean, you go to a Bernie Sanders event, you will be stunned. Not only by the turnout, but the passion that populist passion that I think is reflected on the right by the Trump types. But it's just amazing how much people love Bernie Sanders.
And can we talk about who the people are that are showing up at Bernie
go ahead.
Sanders?
Sure, go right ahead.
Young people.
Well, no, there are a lot of people in Birkenstocks.
Well, right. So they're very young people, and we've talked about liberal academia who push this liberal stuff, this socialist stuff all the time. And what does Bernie say? He says, okay, you learned it in school, now I'm going to give it to you in life, too.
No, but what I was saying...
We'll transfer all the money, 90%, we'll tax the rich, up to 90%, and look at all these programs we're going to offer you. Vote for me. I mean, it's a brilliant strategy.
Yeah, no, I was talking about old hippies.
And Juan, guess what?
Oh, them, too.
As an old hippie,
yeah.
Just kidding.
Oh.
You get to go next. I
get to go next. Oh, my gosh, Thanksgiving. This is a time when you look for a big, big, big turkey. There's no bigger turkey than Rolling Stone. I mean, as a journalist, you look at Rolling Stone, you think, how could they go through a process not only of reporting, writing, editing, and publishing without ever stopping to say, hey, is this right? Did this really happen? Does someone have some corroboration? Have the cops been called? Do we have somebody on the record saying this happened? Oh, no. Turkey, like cluck, cluck, cluck.
You have really high expectations for journalism. Kidding. I agree with you.
Well, the reason why that happened is if you want a story to be true, you're willing to overlook the facts. That's Rolling Stone.
Well, they had a political agenda.
Yeah, they wanted the story to be true.
Start with the title of the story.
Yeah,
work backwards.
Exactly.
But has it hurt Rolling Stone?
Yes.
In circulation?
Oh, yes.
I think so, and the reputation and the brand has been damaged.
And they're being sued, right?
They're being sued.
Lawsuits, bleeding out. It's not a good situation. Happy Thanksgiving.
They're going to have to do a revamp, a complete do-over to make people forget about this.
All right, Eric, you're next.
Do they work, those revamps? Like Gawker went from a really wacky site, now they want to be politics.
Well, Details is shutting down, so.
So when they say, let's pick your turkey of the year, there's so many options. You go file back through the year and try and figure out who was the biggest turkey. And it didn't take long for me to come up with this one, Quentin Tarantino and his attack on cops. Listen.
I am a human being with a conscience. And when I see murder, I cannot stand by. And I have to call the murdered, and I have to call the murderers the murderers.
What a turkey, honestly. And then he even doubled down on it. He had other people joining the fight. Well, I actually included Black Lives Matter also in that fight, in my turkey of the year, for whatever reason you want to call it. But look, these people risk their life in 5 minutes on the job, risk more than we will all year long or all our lifetime long. And for him to say that, it's absolutely ludicrous. Turkey. You're a turkey, Quentin.
I would call him a turkey if you replace key with the letter D.
Ooh. Not edible.
Oh, my God.
Gross.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
You know why I think he's a turkey, though, Eric? Because, you know, let's put aside the politics of it. I thought it was totally self-serving. I thought that what he was doing had everything to do with, one, pushing his movie, and two, apologizing for Django.
Django Unchained.
And then the Spike Lee stuff got involved. And I thought it was all about him and not about the social cause.
Yeah, but a lot of people say stupid things and they fix them later. I mean, we see it all over the place. They're fixed, they're fixed, they're fixed. He didn't. He stayed with it.
Yeah, the way he did it was to rub the spot on the wall, which makes it worse, in case you catch any kids doing that.
Don't do that.
The crayon.
Rub the spot.
I have one. Did you want to hear mine?
Sure.
Quick.
What?
It is a family show and a family
What are you talking about?
All right. We have another one, and it's my choice. It is the CNBC moderators at the GOP debate. Take a look.
Is this a comic book version of a presidential campaign?
You've been a young man in a hurry ever since you won your first election in your 20s.
Is that why you're having a difficult time in this race?
Does that not speak to your vetting process or judgment in any way?
You're the champion of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. Leading Republican candidate, when you look at the average of national polls right now, is Donald Trump. When you look at him, do you see someone with the moral authority to unite the country?
And I'm not the only one who thought they were a turkey. Look at the reaction from mainstream media.
Perhaps the biggest loser in last night's debate wasn't any one candidate, but CNBC. What is this, a high school debate?
Some of these moderators, David, didn't have the quotes to back up what they were saying.
Moderators, you know, are like children. They should be seen but not heard.
When you hear the audience booing the moderators, you know you're in a very tough spot.
So that's why they were my turkey this year. Everyone
That's
agree?
a really good choice. We can concur.
I totally agree with that. In fact, there was an NBC clip in there in the middle of that. Did you notice
Yes.
that?
And we could have leftovers for days.
Yeah, and
that turkey.
And by the way, what was very unfortunate for CNBC was the juxtaposition with FBN crushing it. That was not good for them. It's like, this is how you do it. Go back to, like, puppy school.
And we are only about 2 weeks away from the next debate on December 15th.
I can't wait.
Can you do your turkey?
Yes, I will. Well, my turkey, there's been a lot of media coverage on my turkey. Let's roll the montage.
There's an alert about your Thanksgiving turkey.
Everybody gets so daunted by the idea of the big turkey.
And tonight, word that turkey might cost you more, a rise of up to 20 cents per pound this year.
Pan-fried turkey, it is so good.
Do turkey bacon at Thanksgiving if you want to get really cold.
There will still be turkeys, but you might have to pay.
It's like every single year this happens around this time. Everybody starts talking about turkey. I am so tired of this white meat privilege.
Oh my God.
It is just ridiculous. It is totally alienating, and it's always the bigger the better. Oh, do you have a 12-pound? Do I have a 14-pound? What kind of message is that sending to children that the bigger the turkey, the better it is? That's the reason why kids are getting fat these days, is because we're glorifying obese white turkeys. I'm tired of fat white turkeys. Juan, I'm tired of fat white turkeys.
Oh my God.
Sounds like
oh
you
my
need
God.
some dark meat in your life.
Exactly.
And it's in there.
But the thing about it, Mr. White Chocolate, is that white meat actually leads to a lot of fights at Thanksgiving dinner.
Does it?
Yeah, because then, you know, some people just want the white meat. No. Oh, yeah, that's the dark meat.
There's only two drumsticks they go for, right?
Yeah, the people go for the... But no.
The fight is.
You got to meet my brother. But anyway, let me tell you.
Everybody argues over the legs and the dark meat.
What about the giblets? Not for me.
No, David.
Is that some kind of euphemism?
I don't know.
It is not a euphemism. All right.